Hello to all. Thank you for being here. This is usually the after lunch spot, which is a little bit tricky. But I think to give a little bit of context to what we are going to discuss with, and coming also from the sponsorship side of the business, I think it's better if we start with a video that encapsulates what the Riyadh Air Atletico de Madrid partnership is all about, and then we'll jump in. So please. Give a round of applause. I think it's a great story. And actually, to start, explaining for the people that don't know and the ones that want to know more, sponsorship has to have a purpose, right? Sometimes it's business, sometimes it's social, sometimes it's something else, but it has to have a purpose. So in this case, Osamah, to start with you from the Riyadh Air perspective, take us through the decision or the vision about anchoring your first global sponsorship as a new airline in football.
Well, thank you so much, Reid, and it's a pleasure to be next to my colleague and friend here. We consider him as family and friends always. Riyadh Air has been into the cycle or the roadmap of establishing a new national carrier to connect Riyadh city as the capital of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to the world. 2023, when we launched, it was a royal decree by His Royal Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to establish the new national carrier as well. Generally, you see an airline to build its brand in a way and brand awareness. We took the decision to say, we felt that this is part of a family gathering with us and Atlético de Madrid. It's something meant to happen, and we built the establishment in terms of the relationship with Atlético Madrid back in the time. However, we went into different milestones on building a brand that has no legacy. It's building something from the scratch and connecting cultures, connecting people, and connecting countries as well. So the decision to enter into a sports partnership and a sponsorship in that vertical is evaluated on how do we see sports in general. I think it's a major connector in a way, and we see sports within the aviation business and industry is heavily penetrated. And strategically, Riyadh Air should be positioned not only for the status of the airline itself, but the status of the country. We see the kingdom heavily invested at the forefront of sports, entertainment, and culture generally. So it makes sense to see a new national carrier being associated in that domain. The decision to choose, to enter into that prior to operations and prior to flying was something studied carefully internally as well, but it was made strategically for various reasons to associate ourselves as well into that industry, and specifically with Atletico Madrid as well. We share common values as well together: innovation, digital, and sustainability, and other verticals that we see each other in that domain. So it's something that wonderfully being seen. It's passion that drives also global, I would say, fans around the world, and connecting as well from an airline perspective. That fan base is super helpful. You see different activities being done on a marketing level, and I hope that we have been noticed and surfaced among the competitor landscape for the past 18 to 16 months, that we have been communicating the airline and what are we offering as well. But I think there's beyond as well that vertical of a strategic partnership with Atletico.
Absolutely. No, actually, I mean, if you were wondering if your presence was felt, I think that answers the audience here can answer that. I think you achieved that. And taking a couple of your remarks here in terms of the strategic, more technical approach to sponsorship in terms of positioning the brand, trying to infuse it with a legacy to be from the beginning. When you look at an organization like Atletico de Madrid, you can't dissociate their origin places of things. So Riyadh Air, so it's very much anchored in the city. Atletico de Madrid is anchored in Madrid, and it's a global brand. So and jumping to Oscar now from the club perspective, in terms of how do you see yourself as a platform or a vessel for Riyadh Air to be able to achieve their business and marketing objectives?
Thank you, Rede, and hello, everyone. And as Osamah said, for us it's a pleasure to stay here and to stay with the family of Riyadh Air, because we after 1 year working together, we considering ourselves as a family. We share everything. We work really coordinating, sharing objective, and we feel the project that they are doing as our project as well. I was saying before that for our point of view, it's been an unique experience to have the opportunity to see really close how they are building a world-class airlines since zero until they start to operate, and it's one-time project that you can see in your life, and having the opportunity to see is later we will talk about the business and the sponsorship, but personally and from our professional point of view, it's been an amazing experience to have the opportunity to be close in this project. Obviously, when we started to talk with Riyadh Air almost 2 years ago, we considering ourselves as the perfect platform to the necessity that or the needs that Riyadh Air has in this moment, that we share the same ambition as a company and as an organization. We know perfectly the vision that the country of Riyadh, of Saudi, has his vision 2030, and obviously when the new airline and the new company is building, there is 3 pillars that we think or we thought that we can deliver or we can help Riyadh Air. The first one is brand awareness. We are a global platform, one of the biggest clubs worldwide, and giving them this visibility with the positioning that we have, it is a good opportunity for them. The second one, and I think we totally share it, that is the digital in the center of any decision and in the center of the both organization. Both of them, we are digital native. And the third one is the first class experience. And we are really focused to deliver for our fans and our customers first class experience. And together with Riyadh, we are delivering a really high profile hospitality and new ways to do hospitality that we are sharing experience that they are using for his programs as well for the future of the company. So I think that these 3 pillars is totally makes sense that we start this project together last season, and we are really, really proud that after the first year working together, we decide to extend and becomes or believe or a long-term partnership that is going to be, we are going to be working together in the next years and years.
Absolutely. And actually, to dig a little bit deeper there, Oscar, I mean, it's evident the relevance of the partnership. I mean, in football, the jerseys are like the fan's second skin, so it's very important who you put there, right? But tell us a little bit more of what Riyadh Air means from a club perspective in terms of having such a strong long-term vision partner in your path of actually managing the club.
From my point of view, and it's something that we are putting on the middle of any decision at the club, the correct partner of the club has to follow 4 pillars. The first one has to be a good brand, a strategic brand, and obviously Riyadh Air, and for the positioning of the country and the momentum and the project that they have is it. The second one is in a long-term relationship. We don't want to, or mid-term relationship, it has to be strategic. We don't want a year-by-year relationship in order that we can build a long-term project. The third one is with a commitment of activation. We want to partners that use Atlético to activate B2B, activate B2C, activate to generate awareness, activate in an innovative way. And for that, we are really focused to have a team ready to deliver this first class of experience and ideas to activate. And the fourth pillar, of course, is in a correct price. And I think in these cases, we are really happy in the 4 pillars. And I share with the team that this is the best example of the type of partnership that we have to do it.
Absolutely. And actually, it's interesting, and to go back to Osamah, friends that I've made here in the kingdom in the last few years, government, private sector, always tell me the way we see things is how we can project to the world, but how we can go back and actually help our country or our people continue to develop, right? So in that precise aspect on this partnership with a global football brand, renowned brand, great fun to watch and to see a great talent, how do you see that this partnership can actually help the country's objectives in terms of empowering youth football and youth sports through that association?
Yeah, I think Saudis are well known of their love and passion to football generally. So that's one indicator that you can associate that we strive and we live the love of this sport as well. We have been into the game as well, and I think the association as well between a capital city such as Madrid and Riyadh is a strong indicator that, you know, promoting different verticals as well. It's not only about sport; it's passion. We see Atlético as well, as as you highlighted in the previous ask, is, you know, Atleti is a club of community as well in Madrid, and we see that is a valuable aspect as well. How can we see as we are there to support the kingdom's objectives through, as I mentioned, multiple verticals, but tourism is very key for us. How can we make sure that we promote inbound and outbound tourism as well? How can we associate the name of the city? It's a unique brand that we see as Riyadh Air as well. So the capital city is being infused in our brand fusion as well, in a way, and in our brand ethos as well. So we want to make sure that also the various verticals as well help us to support Atleti, but also support Riyadh Air as well. It's a long-term partnership. We started off with front of shirt. We went larger and we said, why don't we expand this into a more footprint into the stadium? And that is, you know, something that will be seen significantly. There's a decision, and as I mentioned, it's a strategic element to see a city being infused as well. Madrid and Riyadh, it's something destined to happen as well. But also there's a huge traffic flow between both capitals as well. Culture is hugely seen as well between that. So There's various verticals, but I think an important vertical is sports as well, and how do we want to empower youth? We see that a population that is less than 30 years old in Saudi is always ambitious and always strives for more. Spain is, top leading countries as well when it comes to, the academies and the sports and how that education cycle happens. So there's, direct and indirect objectives that hopefully Riyadh Air hits the marks in terms of making sure that this is well received inside the kingdom here, and also globally, that we can help each other as both long-term partners.
Absolutely. Oh, great to hear. And actually, you mentioned that you went from big to bigger in the relationship with Atletico Madrid, and Atletico Madrid itself is going from big to even bigger. And I want Oscar to take us through to what is that vision and the plans around the Riyadh Air Metropolitano Stadium, which are as grandiose as the setting that we're here seeing in Riyadh, which I think also that has that commonality of the future of urban development, right? I think for that we have a short video that explains that project, and afterwards, Oscar, you can take us through.
Yes, the first thing is, for us, is a huge responsibility to have the name of Riyadh in our stadium, a responsibility with Riyadh Air, a responsibility with Saudi, a responsibility with Madrid and with Spain as well, because we have the opportunity or the responsibility to have the name of the capital of Saudi in our stadium, and this is giving us the responsibility to be at the level that they deserve. The second one is thank you for the long-term partnership and for his support. We can go from big to bigger. One of them is what we did last summer, that we invest more than 200 million in players to continue competing against the best teams in Europe. And this next summer, we are going to be one of the two Spanish clubs that is going to be in the first Club World Cup in the history with Real Madrid, beating some of the biggest clubs in Europe. And the third one is the city that we are developing around the Riyadh Air Metropolitano. Is a totally innovative city. We decided to do it in a different way than the majority of the clubs. We decided to do a open entertainment and sports city, open to everywhere, not just for Atlético. I think that we have a video and the people can see the city that we are already developing, and is going to be on time for the last quarter of 2026.
congratulations. It's ambitious, realizable, and I would say that also needed. We need to continue to evolve entertainment and sports sector there in Spain. Osamah, to wrap up, I think that at least, and this is a personal perspective from what I've learned by interacting with all of you and coming here to the country, this is a country of vision, but also a country of determination. So if you can describe or paint the picture in terms of why actually Saudi Arabia is becoming a global capital of football and how that vision transcends whatever might happen next week.
Yeah, I guess, Saudi is becoming a destination in terms of various verticals, be it in entertainment, events, and culture. But when it comes to sports, I'll start with the biggest, element, which is, us receiving the highest evaluation on the 2034 World Cup bidding file. So that's, His Royal Highness has been, on that vertical. We've been, graced by his presence and, sponsoring that vertical. And hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we can hear that kind of announcement to award Saudi as well. The second was, Asian Games as well. We're hosting 2034 as well. Winter Olympics 2029, 2027, Asian Cup, and Expo 2030. So there's a lot of large-scale events that we're seeing the light in Riyadh as the capital city, an 8 million populous city that is going to grow massively larger than this. We saw the metro launched as well, a couple of days. So there's a lot of huge infrastructure developments for a major capital city, seeking to be among top 10, 20 capitals around the world. So huge investments, that's only on a capital city. You have a geographic span and landscape of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, more than 13 districts around this country. We have more than 25 airports, and I'm coming from an aviation sector as well. More than 25 airports around this beloved country. So I think we're geared up to see a lot of huge accomplishments. It doesn't make us more than proud than any time ever to see something to be built from scratch as well, from an airline perspective. And I'm sharing that as well from my colleagues who sharing that vision as well to make sure that an airline stands on its feet next year, hopefully, inshallah. But also a nation that is, seeing the future as well with a positive outlook, with more to come, hopefully, on that spectrum.
Absolutely. Well, Oscar, Osamah, thank you very much for this conversation. I hope for everyone was useful and enlightening. I know for me it was. Thank you very much, and much success in this long partnership that barely begins.
Yeah, and one last thing. OPA Riyadh Air